Well, welcome everyone, and thank you for having us here at the Raynham Council on Aging. I'm very happy to be here. My name is Lisa LeBrew, and I'm the Director of Consumer and Community Relations for the Diocesan Health Facilities, and representing Marion Manor from Taunton today. And I'm very happy to welcome Deb Bell. And Deb is a respiratory therapist. She works at a couple of our different homes. We have 5 skilled nursing facilities and long-term and short-term care. And we also have 2 community-based programs, Bethany House in Taunton, which is an adult day program, and we also have Elders First, which is a geriatric managing company that goes out into the home and to the community. So today, we're going to serve you some nice, cool watermelon on this hot day, and Deb is going to talk about respiratory issues, talk about any of your concerns. She's going to talk about some safety tips for the summer in breathing, and then we're going to hand out some bubbles so everybody can practice some tricks that she's going to teach us. So I'm going to let Deb take it over from here, and again, thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much for having us. Before I start, I always like to know, does anybody here have any respiratory issues, whether it be allergies, asthma? Asthma, okay. Allergies and asthma. Okay. Anybody take any breathing medications at all? What, a nebulizer or the inhalers?
He has it all.
You got it all?
He has it all.
He must be compliant because he's here, right? You're good with taking medicine?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right, we're going to go over a few things about that in a little bit too. What about any shortness of breath with activity, walking, doing stairs, any of that? Does anyone? I have it. Okay. All right. Yeah.
But I'm older than you.
Especially in the heat.
I know, but I'm carrying my laundry baskets upstairs. I get a little winded. And I do my breathing techniques that we'll go over in just a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to go over some summer safety tips, okay? It can be really hard in the summertime, in the heat, especially if there's any respiratory issues as well, as far as breathing. But it's just kind of general. It's not just respiratory, because I know that there's people here that don't have respiratory issues, so we don't want to, bore you with all of that stuff. So a couple of tips. One is that in the summertime, it's really important that we stay hydrated, okay? Sometimes it's a little hard for us to recognize that we might not be taking enough water or fluids, so it's really important that we stay hydrated. I'm not a big water drinker. I love my Dunkin' Donuts iced coffee, okay? So I do very well with that cup and my straw. So when I'm done with my coffee, I'll actually put water in there, pretend it's my coffee, and I'll sip it all day long. So that's kind of my little trick for me. I don't know, does anybody else have any ways that they take in more fluids? I know using a straw is a really good idea. It usually seems to draw people in to take more sips. So if you're not big on drinking and getting your fluids, you might want to consider trying a straw. And always making sure that you have access, that there's a cup of water or something in front of you. Yeah, okay.
I have a 16-ounce bottle every night right there to drink it.
Yeah, that's right. You're going to look at it and you're going to say, oh, there you are, and you have to take some sips. Okay, so that's super important, especially if it's really a really hot day or you're doing something outside or something like that. I know there's like flavored waters. You can put some lemon or cucumber slices in there to make it a little bit better.
Yeah.
Popsicles. Shut the camera off. No, just kidding. No, alcohol and caffeine can dehydrate you. So if you're going to have one of those, you have to have like 10 things of water. Balance it out a little bit. So just make sure that you're staying hydrated and whatever it is that you can do to make sure that you're getting enough fluids. The other thing is, does everybody have air conditioning in their home where they are? Yeah, okay. That's super wonderful. I'm happy to hear that. That's a big, yeah, that's a big thing in the summertime, because like I said, I mean, it can get really, really difficult to breathe and to get motivated to do things and everything. So I'm really happy. If you didn't have AC in your home, coming to places like this is a really good idea. The mall is usually air conditioned. Libraries. Does anybody have any other great places that they can go to that's cool that I can share with other people? The pool, yes, that's great. Do Council on Aging have a pool anywhere?
It's private, we don't. It's next to my office.
Yeah. Over there, we try to keep it.
If it's a really, if you know, in this weather, if you're going to be going outside, does anybody garden or do outdoor activities? Yes, yes. Okay. Yeah, you're right. You want to do it in the morning. You want to do things in the morning, or maybe you want to do them much later in the day. You know, checking in with family members, just saying, hey, I'm going to be outside gardening, you know, today, and letting them know, okay? And that is a great thing. Now, you're right, because you can have your phone right in your pocket. Yeah, all these great things that we have. So you might want to just check in with family members if you're going to be outside for a while, just so that they know to check back in with you, that everything's okay. The other thing, too, is that you want to make sure you're wearing the right clothes on these hot days. So do you want them to be light or dark? Light, yeah. You want to wear light clothes. You want to be loose, okay, so that you can move around a little bit. Cotton fabrics usually, and that's going to help you stay cooler in the weather too. Hypothermia. When our body temperature gets too hot, okay, and we might be at risk for like a heat stroke. Does anybody know some of the symptoms, some of the first signs that may indicate that you are getting a little too hot? Yeah, perspiring, yeah.
You speak gibberish now.
Yes, yes, get a little confused.
confused.
Yep, absolutely. Lightheaded, yeah. And lightheaded and those headaches too. Sometimes that can be the very first sign that you're getting a little dehydrated and overheated, as your head might start to hurt. Absolutely. Fainting is another one, okay? So make sure that you do know and you're aware of those signs, okay, if it's hot out, so that you can kind of get help or get yourself in a cool spot, okay? Exercising smart, and again, we kind of went over this already, so we're going to do it in the morning, we're going to do it later in the day, you're going to wear the right stuff, right? Does anyone go for walks or do those things? I know. I don't blame you. I know. Even early in the morning, it's still, especially a lot of days, it's still too hot. You do want to make sure too, when you're going out, always protect your eyes from the sun. So try to wear some kind of sunglasses or something like that. And then if you are out during the day, especially because if it's morning or at dusk, make sure you're protecting yourself from bugs. So you want to make sure you put that bug spray on. Okay. There's, you know, at my home and I'm outside in the evening and I'm very blessed. We have a lot of bats and a lot of barn swallows. And yeah, it's wonderful because I'm like, I don't have any mosquitoes on me. Yeah, my husband had those barn swallows.
Oh, yes, they were up last night.
I think my husband said that the barn swallows will eat about 350 mosquitoes per hour. It's pretty, pretty impressive, and we have a lot of those. So yeah, make sure you're putting on the bug spray and everything else, because then I was down the road at a neighbor's house the other night and they were just all over me. I couldn't get over the difference, and it was just a really short distance away. Any questions or anything else that anyone does for their summer safety stuff? We can get into some fun respiratory stuff now for a few minutes. Okay. All right. So inhalers. I think you had said that you do it's for inhalers. Yeah. Is it the powdered disc ones, or is it the ones that you actually do a little squirt and you? Okay.
Can't think of the name now.
Prevental, Pro-Air, solely something similar.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Do that.
Okay. All right. So, and even though you may not take these, you may know people that do. So the first thing I'm going to just real quick go over is proper MDI, and MDI stands for metered dose inhaler. Okay, so MDI technique. So the right way that we take that little squirt inhaler. Okay. So normally you would just start by shaking the canister. Okay. You're going to hold it 2 finger widths in front of your mouth. You're going to exhale out because you want to empty out all your airways. Okay. So you exhale out. Head tilt, squirt, breathe in, and breath hold for like 3 to 5 seconds. So not very easy. How many people do you see put it right in their mouth? Yes, everybody does. So, and what happens is when it goes right into the mouth, and you can kind of visualize it. So if it was going right into my mouth and I squirt and I breathe in, the majority of it's going to deposit right here on the back of your throat, as opposed to actually being brought into the airways. Okay? So I know, it's just one of those things that people never get trained properly how to do. And you'll actually get more of the medicine that way.
Well, I had an extension. that
Yes,
was
you
up
had a
again.
spacer. Do you still use it?
No, I lost it.
Oh, I'll have to see. Maybe we can get you another one. So with the spacer, so that's exactly right. So you put the little MDI right here, okay? Actually, right there. So you can put it in right there. You always make sure you do give it a shake first, okay? Then you're gonna depress it down, and the medication is gonna hold right here. So then you can go ahead and you can blow out, and then when you're ready, do a lip seal here, and then
Suck it up.
breathe the medicine in. And it really just makes it so much easier. You get more of the medicine, it's easier for you, so it's really a great tool to have when you have, sometimes, if it's a little big, you might not want it. It's called a spacer or a holding chamber. And you can usually get
They were
these.
just round things, stuck on the end of the.
Oh,
Just a little too.
no, I do know what you're talking about. You use probably just like a little corrugated tube, which that's fine too. But here, would you like that one? I didn't put my mouth on it or anything.
Nobody else wants it?
Do you want one too for yours?
Right.
Gee, you made out all right.
Yeah.
So, no, it has a big help. Now, if you have a powdered inhaler, like an Advair disc, that won't work. It's just, okay, the ones that do the squirt, okay? Let's see if I can open this, just because it's a little slightly different bottle.
I never saw them. My husband had the,
Just whatever was this.
Yeah, 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 at Morton. Okay, yeah.
So big.
Something new.
Probably every month.
So with your inhaler, okay, the end piece that you would normally put by your
Is that
mouth
what
is
you
going
got,
to tuck
like
right
that?
in here,
No.
okay? Give it a shake, and then you're just going to use this end here. So you'll squirt, and then you'll breathe in. Okay? Give it a try. You should notice a little bit of a difference, okay? Yep, yep. You put that, the end piece in there, and then it's a little, you might want to just leave that end off when you do use it. So it's L-shaped like that, and it's going to go in right here. So you're going to press the top of it. It's going to squirt the medicine right here.
That's in your mouth.
Yep, and then you'll put that in your mouth. You're going to see there's a little seal right there in between. See how that there? So when you squirt this, it's going to hold in there until you breathe in.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it's a holding chamber. So medicine right there, you squirt, and then you can breathe right in through here. Don't feel like you have to rush. You don't have to, because it's going to hold right there. So make sure you're taking the time, that you're exhaling out first. Make sure, okay? And then you're going to take your nice breath in. And then try to do the breath hold for about 3 to 5 seconds. When you're doing your inhaler like this way, and it's very hard to do the breath hold, but it's a lot easier when you use this here, okay? So give that a whirl, okay? Do you know what you use?
I use Q-bar.
Okay.
And then I have a rescue inhaler that
Okay.
I carry with me all the time.
Okay, perfect. And that one's a little smaller, so it'll fit right in your purse, okay? Okay, so, all right, and nobody uses the nebulizer, right? Nobody uses that nebulizer, the little machine that plugs, okay, all right. Okay, oh, he uses that at home, okay. So the one thing that I like to show, because this is something that you do kind of need to ask for from the person that supplies your nebulizer, but just so that you know that this is out there and it exists if you're doing neb treatments, because normally, how long, if he was to take a neb treatment, how long does it take? How long is he on it for?
I'd say 7 to 10 minutes.
Okay, so this here is an Aero Eclipse, okay, and it looks very similar, obviously. It plugs right into the neb. Top off, medication goes in, okay. This is a 3-minute treatment. It nebulizes the particles, really teeny tiny, which is great because they're going to get further into your lungs, and it does it quicker too. And it also has 2 modes. So see how this is little dots there?
Yep.
So it's got, right now it's set on that mode. That means it's breath actuated. So it's really cool. So you put the medicine in, you turn the machine on, and you're not going to get the medicine until you ask for it, so you breathe in. So you're not having any waste either. If it's too hard for you to breathe that medicine in, you can put it on continuous just like the other ones, and that's fine too. So just a good thing to know about, because you do have to, they
So
have
what
them,
is
you
it
do have to
made
ask. It's a, I'll give you the insert. It's an arrow eclipse. So just a good thing to know that is out there, especially like if you were ever got to the point and you had to have them scheduled several times a day. It just takes a long time that you're sitting on this. Yeah, well, and that's why they created this too, to try to increase compliance of the medications and everything, absolutely. Okay, I'm gonna go over, so the bubble. So I talked a little bit about shortness of breath, okay? We all get it depending upon, what we're doing and the activity that we're doing. Especially when we have some respiratory issues, this technique is really important. You've probably heard of it. It's pursed lip breathing. Anyone ever heard pursed lip breathing? In through your nose, out through your mouth. Okay, yeah. So it's a really good technique to use if you start to get short of breath. I like to use it before I get short of breath, just so I'm already sort of doing it. But it's a nice big breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Sort of that slow forced exhalation. The reason why when we have any kind of pulmonary issues that this is so important is because a lot of times we can take that breath in, but we actually have a hard time getting it all out, okay? So by doing this, you're forcing all the air out. So when you do take your next breath, you're getting a really good breath, and you're gonna oxygenate a lot better because of it, okay? There's no leftover air hanging around in the airways, okay? So a good way to practice that is by using the bubbles. There's really no time. Everyone's going to be different depending upon their pulmonary status, to be honest with you. Usually the exhale is about 1 to 2 seconds longer than the inhale, but it's really whatever you're comfortable with. The biggest thing is when we start to get short of breath, like, how do we breathe? I don't mean... Exactly. So the thing is you just want to kind of stop that and just... Okay, so I like to practice it with the bubbles. So I'm going to take a big breath in through my nose, and then I'm going to exhale out my mouth and hopefully blow a bubble. Ready? Do over. Okay. I'm going to breathe in through my nose. I don't think there was enough on there. Where's everybody else's bubble? Okay. So it's a good way to practice. Breathing and deep breathing is so important, especially if you're starting, if you get a little bit of a cold and you're getting a little junky. It's a really great way to open up your airways. Because when you don't feel good, when you're not breathing good, we have a tendency not to want to move around and do things. And then like our lungs are just going like this all day, a little in and out. We really need to expand them, open our air sacs, cough up any mucus, because if not, and it sits in there, then we get pneumonia, okay? So bubbles are like, what, 99 cents at the dollar store? They're amazing. Well, we're gonna give you some too. Go ahead, we can take bubbles. But I always have to wait until I show the technique, because then everybody opens their bubbles and starts doing their mouth breathing. But it's a great thing to have in the house. Do it with, any kids that might come visit. Do it during commercials. Just remember to take those deep breaths, especially when you're not feeling
Where's the
good.
cat? What do you exercise?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
That's so funny too, because I was thinking away with.
Yes. That's
You wanted to play
awesome.
with it, yeah.
Oh, that's fabulous. See, that's so good. So good. So everybody open up their bubbles and see how we do.
I already
It's a
opened them
little
for you,
tricky to
so
get your fingers in there and find that little bubble wand.
Oh.
Nice job.
Oh,
So just remember, when you go to
You
do
know
your
what?
bubble,
Oh, fishes? I haven't seen that.
Oh, yeah, I got a little setup for the kids.
it's that deep breath through, perfect, and exhale out. Awesome. Woo!
They dropped them on the floor.
Actually, they landed on
I
your
didn't know they had one of the baby
Oh,
bushes.
yeah, if you have grandchildren, you'll find them in the.
Look at that, look at that, they're all over the kid.
Oh, look at.
Can you do it?
Yeah.
That is
Deep breath.
you know, I know,
Take
they
a deep
put
breath.
tiny little holes in. Look at all these.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
exercise,
throw
that's
it.
why.
I was gonna, just be careful when you get up.
All right.
Hey,
That's amazing, look at that. Oh,
put your bubble in there.
great job. So big breath in through the nose and exhale out the mouth.
Yeah, but I'm not
Feel
gonna
it
be
go.
I tell my
That
grandchildren
is
that.
perfect.
Oh, you have to be in the 70s and 80s.
Nice job over there. Good. You sure did do it.
You do well.
He
very
did
well.
it. He got some good bubbles.
Yeah, but I
I'm
know,
gonna stay with
I
me.
know what you
I
I
know.
know who you are.
That's funny.
Does anybody have any specific questions or anything like that? Or are we just having way too much fun with bubbles? Because that's fun too.
I know once you get started, I don't
Yeah,
want to just
yeah.
finish stop.
We're having tryouts for a redo of the Lawrence Welk show, right?
Oh, that's
You
right.
went over there and say, oh,
Remember the bubbles?
You know, a few years back, I was somewhere, and someone had a little lipstick and a little wand. And I thought, what a cute thing. And I didn't realize, I probably
bubbles?
needed it, yeah, it was
Oh.
and she, little tiny bubble.
Little teeny tiny, huh? Isn't that funny?
Yeah,
Maybe that's what it was.
I know, I thought it was just for fun.
She may have been blowing bubbles doing her lung exercises, right?
I know. That's great, that's
It's a
fabulous.
really good exercise to do, and it's fun. So the other thing is we've had some great feedback with is the harmonicas. That's another one. They sell them at the dollar store a lot of times. So grabbing up, you know, maybe during the winter if you don't want to blow bubbles, a harmonica could be a good thing to keep you breathing.
Really?
Really?
Bring them on in.
Spoils.
Well, hey, we'll have to do a winter segment where we do harmonicas, right?
That ought to be fun.
Husband, yeah.
You get to the nose and blow the harmonica.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
How about a dog whistle so nobody hears
He'll
it?
teach her.
Well, it's funny, because I've been in rehab just recently.
Yep.
And they were having trouble getting my oxygen. Breathe. So.
Right, and then sometimes too, I don't know, did they warm up your fingertips too?
No, they had both hands, both problems.
Oh, goodness gracious.
After I started doing that.
Then it was, okay, then it was able to come up, good. Where did you go to rehab? Long Meadow, okay, gotcha, very nice. Excellent. Yes?
All right, now I have a very bad postnasal drip,
Yep.
which interferes with my asthma.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing I can do about it. Dr. Mdi
Does it happen more at night for you? Is it more at night or?
Which makes me cough, no, during the day.
It's, during the day.
And I take Zyrtec at night for it. Doesn't really help.
Do you take the Zyrtec at night so it doesn't happen at night?
No, so that I'll be good in the morning, because I use my inhaler at night
Mm-hmm.
and in the morning.
Postnasal drip can be very, kind of one of those really annoying things that
Which
you
I
really
have.
can't do a lot about. Does, have you, so you take the Zyrtec at night and you're okay at night, it doesn't happen at night? Did it used to happen at night before the Zyrtec?
Not really.
So it's always been a daytime thing for you?
It's a bad postnasal drip.
Is that usually in response to allergies that you're having? Like, is it year-round for you, or is it worse?
It's year-round.
It's year-round. That's so sad.
My doctor suggested recently, when I went to my doctor last week, he suggested Flonase, but I don't know if that would help. I don't think it would.
Might not for the
Yeah,
post-nasal,
I was
but,
complaining about my postnasal drip, and I don't believe.
oh, and that's what they were saying, is the
Yeah,
Flonase.
It does help to dry.
Because
Well, the only thing I
I
can't
haven't.
use some of the things because I have glaucoma. And I can't use some of
Oh,
those
right,
things.
you can't, yeah, that's true too.
the Flonase dries up the. It's supposed to dry up the secretions. Because I
Are you using it right?
No, I mean, I haven't bought it.
She hasn't
but,
bought it, they suggested
They
it.
suggested it because I have very bad hay fever when the ragweed season comes in.
Right.
I have mild allergies during the year,
Right.
but when the ragweed comes, I take, you know, over-the-counter antihistamine.
Yeah.
But, you know, during the rest of the year, when I have a postnasal drip, he suggested Flonase, and I don't know, I don't think.
Well, now I want you to try it and tell
Okay.
us how it.
I think it was $26.
Oh my goodness
Oh,
gracious.
it's expensive.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness
yeah,
gracious.
they're all
The
expensive.
insurance won't cover it?
No.
not for me.
It's-
It's over the counter.
It's over the counter now. It
Yeah.
wasn't before,
Oh.
but now it's over
That's
the
why
counter.
they put it over the counter. It's still expensive. I didn't drop down
They
the
get
price.
around things.
Oh, yeah.
Might
You
be
get
worth
around
trying.
things.
I have a
Yeah.
question about air conditioning.
So you
Yes.
get to pay more money.
Air
Over the
conditioners
counter.
Crazy.
have, not bad effects, but can it
That's
cause,
awful.
You know, like
Your eyes
your eyes and the postnasal drip, and almost like not an allergic reaction.
Well, like
but-
allergies, it's
Yeah.
going to, they have like filters and they have like internal filters and, you know, they sit so many months out of the year. So they're collecting stuff internally. So, yeah, and so a lot of times, especially when they first start running, I see it in our own home, especially with my kids. I notice that they get very allergy, like they're watery eyes and everything, so.
Walk outside, and
um,
see things flying around.
Yeah.
Right, so you wanna make sure that any filters that you have access to, you wanna make sure that you are, you know, cleaning them really well. The other thing too is if you have a compressor before you run it for the season, you can, like we store ours in the garage and we have a compressor, so I'll blow them all out. And that's what we also do at the nursing home too, we blow them all out, we do the filters, and so that helps, so it helps. Yeah, the filters are
I
very
change it once a month,
Yeah.
this shop.
I take them out and wash them.
My own filters, I wash them.
So it's usually more so that sort of the dust and stuff like that than it is the actual, yeah, correct.
Because I was wondering if it was like, you know, like sometimes in the winter, if you go out, how the cold will affect you, and I was wondering if it was the same thing with the air conditioning, but not really.
Usually not, no, it usually doesn't, especially because the air conditioning doesn't, I know what you mean when you walk out in the winter some days and
Yeah.
it can take your breath away.
I know.
'Cause it's so
Like the heat,
cold.
It's cold, yeah.
Right, so I mean, in the winter, you'll always find me, if I have a turtleneck, it's like up over my mouth or a scarf or something to help warm that air.
But the air bothers me too, Liz.
Yeah.
The air conditioning does, yeah.
My eyes itch,
I mean, wherever I walk in, like if I walk into a store.
I sneeze.
And it's like, yeah, it's sneezing.
And your nose
I mean,
runs,
I don't
right?
like
Yeah,
air
I walk in,
conditioning.
all of a sudden,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I put it on only if I have to.
Only if you
I
have to
don't think
because it's
I
so
hate
incredibly
those.
hot.
I like the windows open.
I know.
breathing,
Right.
but it bothers me. I
Right.
go the other end of the house.
I was gonna say, a lot of times, especially with does he have COPD? Is it
No.
No?
In
Okay.
his COPD, he has, a collapsed diaphragm
Oh, okay,
and mild emphysema.
Emphysema, yeah, okay, yeah, so definitely,
He's got something.
He's got some.
He's got something.
yeah, I was gonna say, so for him, he probably does that air conditioning helps him breathe and
But he
everything.
goes to the gym 5 days a week and rides the bike 15 miles.
Nice.
Wow.
So he takes his oxygen.
On his back.
That's amazing. Tell him I said,
That's
good
great.
job, that's incredible, I wish I could
Drives,
do that.
pedals 15 miles every day. The
Amazing.
oxygen is back, and now he just started with the weights. I said, all right.
Is he, is he going to, does he go to like a pulmonary rehab, or is this just a
He
gym?
had pulmonary at the VA.
Oh, okay, okay, that's wonderful.
Well, in the military, in '68, he had the Hong Kong flu,
Yeah.
and then collapsed collapsed the lung and his diaphragm.
My goodness.
He's had a hard time breathing all his life, didn't realize it.
Right.
He smoked, so he
Yeah,
said he was
right.
smoking, I
Yeah.
smoked too much, right?
Right.
He finally quit smoking and went to the doctor, and they said, you're smoking.
But I never smoked.
One lung and
I
a piece of the
never
lung was,
smoked.
they said it was no bigger than a needle thread.
Wow.
That's the opening he's got in one lung.
Yeah.
It's all scar tissue, and they think it might be from being on the submarine for
Yeah.
10 years.
Wow.
And all the asbestos, but it's
Right,
not that,
yeah,
that's,
yeah.
so, that's it.
Right, yeah, I know what you're
Yes.
talking about, yeah.
Never heard of it, my goodness.
Oh, he's got a lot of things.
So he goes to the gym,
But
and he
you
pedals
look,
that
yeah,
bicycle.
you wouldn't think
Good
of
for
what you
him,
know.
and with his
If you look at him,
oxygening,
you wouldn't
good
think he had
for
a care in
him.
the world.
That is a,
Does
does he have a tank? Is it like a big tank, like a tank?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was shocked.
You were
Good
shocked,
for
yeah, I
him.
know you
Nice,
were.
nice job.
So whenever anybody's sick and they're feeling, they'll say, go to the gym.
Go to. It's like my mother when we were sick, and I was like, go outside.
And a headache, go to the gym.
Yeah.